Either way, I want to go straight to Darlington yesterday. Did you go? Were you at the
Yeah,
racetrack?
unfortunately.
I mean, Tyler Reddick, 4 out of the first 6. Incredible drive yesterday, alternator troubles, back to the front. You talk about, a place where you have to hit your marks and how perfect you have to be at Darlington. You were one of the best at it, winning 7 times. Right before you came in here, I said racing at Darlington is like a battle between your mind and your butt because your mind's like, "There's no way we can be going this slow," and meanwhile, your butt's like, "Yeah, you can go a little more." What is driving Darlington like?
Yeah, I grew up racing a pavement sprint car at Winchester and Salem, and Darlington was sort of a reminder of that with the first time I went there, and they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna run right up against the wall up high," and I was like, "Okay."
Sure.
Like like it didn't seem like that big of a deal until you get in the race and the tires start wearing out and now you're hanging on, you're trying to stay out of the wall. But for what I the now again, I had great equipment, right? So all I had to do was focus on me. I didn't have to worry about all the other outside distractions. And so I got to go there with a great car. Even Bill Davis, like Mark and Bill built some great race cars
Mhm.
before I got there. But so Darlington was one of my favorites right from the beginning. I went there and boom, it just was magic. But I just like the challenge. I like, how you had one end of the racetrack, you had to do something completely different, hard on the brakes. The other end of the racetrack, it's just go as fast as you can, slide that thing up to the wall and hope it sticks.
So it's awesome, dude. It is awesome. I wanted to go. This is a bit of an oddball question. I'm always curious, when you hear like NFL Hall of Famers build their perfect quarterback, right? They take
hmm
this guy's eyes, this guy's processing speed, this guy's arm. So if you were to build the perfect NASCAR driver, past, present, who do you build?
Well, I mean, first you got to start with the three seven-time champions, because those three guys all brought, I think, something a little bit unique and different, right? Like I didn't race really. I raced one race against Richard, but in his prime, I mean, that guy just was so good, so smooth, so consistent. Earnhardt, I did get to race with, and the guy was just tenacious and just a beast, right? I mean, he just unapologetic, and and I didn't have exactly what he had, but I would have liked to have, right? So that's why I put him on the list. Plus, just master of the super speedways. Wow. Jimmy Johnson, I mean, I don't know that he had a weakness, right? So you got to use him. You got to have a Bobby Allison and Cale Yarborough, right,
Yeah.
in there. Both of those guys. I mean, again, two kind of different ways, but got to have them in there. You got to have Pearson. I mean,
Oh, he's my
I'm just
favorite.
going to take all the greats, but I would also include Mark Martin for the reasons we spoke about, earlier. I just pure speed. That guy could extract speed out of it, and road course, oval, super speedway didn't matter. He was good everywhere. So put him in there too. I'm gonna keep the current guys out because that's gonna just get
Yeah.
me in trouble and not do
Yeah.
me any
Yeah. No, that's
favors.
fair. Awesome. Jeff, we can sit here and talk about it all day, but I got to let you go. I know
You
you got
gotta
a
let me
busy.
go. Damn, that
Not,
went by
not yet. Not yet.
fast.
Not yet.
Oh,
I got
not.
3 questions. I
Oh
got to ask
God.
every. I got to ask every guest that's been on our show, and you don't get out. You don't get out easily. So the first question is this: this is one of my favorite ones. If you had to pick one race car and one racetrack to race the rest of your life, what do you go with?
So my favorite now stock car. Are we talking
Nope.
No,
NASCAR?
Anything.
anything you want.
Oh, oh.
These are
Anything.
Well,
hard hitting
well,
questions.
well. The problem is that I drove that F1 car that one time, and I never got to race the F1 car. And I know F1's hot right now, and I'm an F1 fan. I still put our stuff up against it every Sunday, any day of the week.
In
But
terms
I
of
will say,
entertainment, I agree.
yeah. But I will say, driving that car was the most,
You did it at Indy, correct?
yeah, yeah.
Swap with Michael Schumacher.
No, with Montoya,
Okay.
yeah. The most mind blowing, like I still this day I'm like, how does a car do that? When you're braking with the stock car the marker's not even there.
Yeah.
If
At the
there
700.
was a 5 4 3 2 1, and I'm at the 7 if it was there,
Yeah.
right, and locking up, and this
Is
thing
this is you?
that's me,
Let's
yeah.
run it. Just walk us through a little bit. Hear what you're thinking. This is the
Well,
Flame DuPont
well,
paint job. Do
you
we
know
have
what?
audio?
Oh yeah, the V10 baby. Yeah, the first
Oh,
quarter,
we're
the
off,
first
Jeff.
quarter.
Bring it back.
So this is what's wild about these cars. is I was out there just trying to kind of get up to speed.
Yeah.
Oh no, you got to pound it in the
To get
yeah.
tire heat.
So the reason that happened, no, you need the downforce.
Okay.
The reason that happened is I drove easy into the corner.
Oh.
And so they're like, hey, I came in after that because I was scared. I was like, oh God, I don't want to wreck this thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you got to drive in deeper. You got to drive in harder. Get on the
more
brakes hard.
downforce.
And so I did, and the thing stuck like glue the rest of the time.
Really?
So, but this is going into turn
You
one.
are hauling ass. Oh my
Dude,
God.
it reaches terminal velocity. Like the
Yeah.
car just stops accelerating. It's got so much drag and downforce. And no Hans, the Hans wouldn't fit in that car. And dude, I could not hold my head up at all.
Hang on. You drove no Haas device?
Huh?
You just drove that thing with no Haas device, no nothing?
Yeah. Yeah. But
When men were men.
that was when Hanses were just starting to become mandatory in NASCAR and in F1. But dude, the way that thing cornered and braked, it's just ridiculous. And even though I'm selling on the wheel a little bit here, it just, the immediate feedback was just, you knew when it was stuck and when it wasn't stuck. You know, when it stuck, you just kept feeding the wheel.
One of my favorite drivers of all time is Juan Pablo.
Oh, he's a nut, man.
Yeah.
But really talented guy. Yeah. You didn't mess with him. Like I've got my short list of guys you don't mess with. Because
Who's on the short list?
Earnhardt,
Okay.
Tony, and Juan. Those are the three.
You got
guys.
into it with Tony, but I never seen you get into it with Juan.
I got into it with Tony once. You know, we kind of had a little thing. And
you were parked next to each other.
Or twice. Sorry, twice. We're parked. That's the whole video from that was Watkins Glen. Dude, it was lap 1 or 2. We were going up through the S's, and we were both stubborn, not wanting to give an inch, and we both wrecked one. And like Brent had a horrible day after that. And then we got pissed, next to one another. And then Bristol, I ended up on the better end of that one. But no, me and Tony, we had a really good understanding. Harvick, I would say, was another one. He and I really never.
He's an intense
dude. When
fellow.
Harvick got out at Watkins Glen and went up to Juan Pablo, Harvick realized that's the only time in Harvick's career realized, like, okay, this is one guy because he grabbed on to Juan Pablo, and Juan Pablo was like, "We going?"
Oh yeah.
Juan Pablo
but
back
even
at him.
Juan was like, maybe I shouldn't. Right? They were both.
Yeah.
But I mean, those three guys were guys that one I respected. But also I knew that if I took it too far, it's going to come back to haunt me more than it's going to
on or off the racetrack.